I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a synopsis. I will be lead editing one of the issues. It's gonna be called A Natural Desire. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This vlog is a SOS vlog, send help. I really need to get my shit together really before the end of the month. We're halfway in October and I have not really revised my book. I would say in over like 4 weeks. I have not been serious with my my book, mostly because actually I had a wrist injury and I was really trying hard not to use my wrist, and typing was making it worse. So I was, you know, in part because of a health issue, but my wrist has actually recovered significantly over the past week and I feel ready to write again. Still wearing a brace and stuff, but I'm ready to write, and I really need to get my shit together because this might also be the last vlog of the year. I have tons of things happening towards the end of the year. My partner is coming to visit me at the end of October, and then we're going to Spain together for a week. I have like 3 days of vacation left, and I'm attaching it to the end of the Veterans Day long weekend, so I'll be away. And then we're planning on moving in together by the end of November, and moving stresses me out a lot. There's no way I'm gonna be able to film in between all of that, especially like vlogs, so this could quite be the last vlog of the year. I don't know, maybe I'll film like after I moved in or something. So yeah, that's where we are in this video. Oh, I forgot to say, I also have an editing client starting in November, and because I work a full-time job and I do YouTube videos and all these other things, I do not want to like write and edit at the same time. That stresses me out a lot and I get a lot of anxiety over that. Also, I'm extremely I have cat allergies. I have 2 cats and I'm extremely like clogged up right now. I think you can hear it in the video. Oh my god. So anyway, my point is this is the vlog to get all the writing done as much as I can. Yeah, I'm just looking at my screen because I have all the stuff I need to do listed out. It's overwhelming actually. So yeah, we're gonna use this vlog to hold myself accountable, I guess. And I also have a ton of Augur work to do. So I volunteer at Augur Society as the managing editor online. Wow, by the time you're watching this, it'll be kind of late to the game, but submissions are opened and I will be lead editing one of the issues. It's gonna be called A Natural Desire. And what we're looking for in this issue is like raw connection with nature, lust and love, exploring platonic relationships, exploring community and context, and I'm really excited to be lead editing. There's gonna be so much work for that as well, and so I have like a lot of moving parts within Augur in my opinion, so I really need to do some Augur stuff today as well. So today's gonna be a heavy work day for me. Unfortunately, I wish I could go outside, and that's the thing with like having too many hobbies. Like on the weekends I do more work, I'm never outside, so that's really unfortunate. Maybe I can go outside tomorrow. Oh, another update. So this week I didn't do like my novel writing, but I ended up writing a poem and I submitted a short story. I submitted it to Factor 4 magazine. I used to be like kind of secretive of where I submitted just because I didn't want people to, like the editors most importantly, to know where I submit in case someone watching this is like an editor, or like I don't know, it can happen like an editor or / reader can watch this video and also like end up reading my stuff. So I didn't want to give any biases, but at this point I don't think I care anymore. I assume that editors are going to approach like my work unbiased, and most first readers, they don't see the information of who is actually submitting. So yeah, also I didn't want to say it because like in case anyone else was submitting, I didn't want anyone to feel like any type of way that I was also submitting, but I don't care anymore. So if you want to submit to Factor 4 magazine, again, I don't know when I'm uploading this, so by the time you're watching this they might have closed their submissions, but I submitted to them. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place with this vlog. I think another reason why I haven't been like so into my book, like revising my book, is because my critique partner and I would keep like pushing out the date. Like when we're supposed to swap. It was supposed to be November 1st, but now I think we're gonna do the end of the year. I think I can do the end of the year, so I don't have like a rush to like get everything done by November 1st, but I do want to make as much progress as possible. And I'm assuming this vlog will like take place over the course of this month as I try to work on all my stuff. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, I hope you guys are ready. Grab a drink. I have a really long update. This is gonna take forever. Maybe I will just end the vlog after this. Maybe we'll start a new one. I know at the beginning of the video I said this might be the last vlog of the year, but probably I didn't know what I was saying. Okay, so let's go through this whole week. Okay, Monday. I finally finished, I think I read through chapter 9 once more and I locked it. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, chapter 9 was the chapter that I ended up adding into the book. I had originally, in the first draft, it was chapter 11. I took it out, I thought I didn't need it, realized I needed chapter 11. I inserted that whole chapter, rewrote it into the new chapter 9, so that's like the new chapter 9 now. I read through it over on Monday and I started working on chapter 14 right after. While I was working on chapter 14, super random, the two had nothing to do with each other. I realized there was a plot hole in the book. It wasn't like a typical plot hole. It wasn't like I realized something contradicted itself in the plot itself. Or it wasn't like I'm missing an explanation of this one particular thing. It was just that my character was doing X when she should have been doing Y, because it kind of made completely absolutely no sense for her to be doing X. And so Tuesday morning on the train, which I think I showed a clip, I was fixing every instance of X to Y. I was glad that it was like an easy fix because I just had to change. I mean, I had to rewrite some scenes because of that. But still, I would consider that easy because I didn't have to like completely restructure the whole book to make that X to Y thing make sense. It was just like at the scene level I had to change a lot of the dialogue. I had to change some of the interactions that she had with different characters because of this change. And I realized that this is actually better, like way better for the book, because I can still bring X into the plot, but that will be like towards the end of the book, I think. So that was Tuesday. And then Tuesday at work, I don't know what came over me, but I had it in me to review my query letter for the young adult fantasy. I think it's because I was getting ready to get the feedback from my critique partner for the young adult fantasy. So I was reading the query again because I have the query ready to go. It's been workshopped by Maggie Stiefvater when I went to her writing retreat last year. And so I was just like reading it over because I was like, okay, I'm curious what's going on here. And while I was reading the query letter, I kind of realized that the first act that I sent my critique partner didn't really follow the query letter exactly. Like there was like a thing that was different, and I was thinking about it because obviously the two paths were I was gonna have to change the query to match what was actually happening, or I was gonna have to change the book to match the query. The way I had written it in the query was like the original. Okay guys, I've had like a million drafts of this act 1. Okay, so like the way I had written the query was the way the book was at the time, and I obviously redrafted it, like rewrote it. So I decided that I'm actually gonna stick to like the original version of what I had in the query. So Tuesday evening, I ended up rewriting the last chapter of Act 1, which is where these changes were happening. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like it's like a minute thing, but it's also like very big at the same time, if that makes sense. But anyway, I rewrote the last chapter. It took a while, like that took all of Tuesday evening. And then Wednesday morning on the train to work, I brushed it up and resent it to my critique partner. So I did let her know that I was going to change the last chapter. So anyway, I sent it to her. Like I fixed it up Wednesday morning and then sent it to her. And Wednesday in the evening, obviously because I'm talking about morning and evening because I have work during the day. And so Wednesday evening, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a synopsis, because Wednesday, like during the day, I was actually like kind of shopping around for agents. I was just like looking around to see like who's open right now and start putting together a list of the agents I want to query. And so a lot of the agents, or at least some of the agents, wanted a synopsis. And I've never written a synopsis before. I didn't know at the time like how to write one. That evening, like that Wednesday evening, I was like, actually on the train, I was like, I'm gonna try to write a synopsis and I'm gonna give it like my best effort just to see how this goes, because I heard so many horror stories about the synopsis that it was like super difficult to write because you have to take your book, put it into like 800 words, 500, 800 words, 1.5 pages. I heard some writers, like some authors, like purposely don't query agents that need a synopsis. And so this whole time, all my life, I thought this synopsis was gonna be like the hardest thing to do ever. I knocked it out in like 30 minutes. And I'm not saying that it was easy, but it was definitely not as challenging as how everyone made it out to be. Unless I just wrote a really horrible synopsis, but I find a lot of things harder than writing a synopsis, like actually revising the book. That's like, for me, that's way harder than writing the synopsis. I was following Susan Dennard's synopsis template, which I'll link down below. Susan Dennard has like a plethora of knowledge on traditional publishing, and she like subscribed to her newsletter. I know a lot of people on YouTube talk about her because like A+ amazing like teaching content for like writers who want to pursue traditional publishing. So anyway, I wrote the synopsis, sent it to my boyfriend, got feedback, and now I think I have a really decent draft for the synopsis. Obviously I'm gonna go back to it and, you know, continuously like improve it, but it's pretty, I was like really impressed by myself because I kind of just like got it in one go, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It ended up being around like 600 words, so it's about a page and a third double spaced. I think I was reading online a lot about synopses, and a lot of people were saying that there's not a huge standard like query letters. Query letters are pretty standard. You shouldn't get that wrong. But I heard with synopses, like people were saying 500 to 800 words, one page. It's okay for it to go up to 1,000 words. So I think the sweet spot is just staying in 1.5 pages. So mine is like 1/3, but I think I can bring it up if I have to. But anyway, that's a work in progress. But I was really happy after I wrote that synopsis. I was literally high. Like, it was so giddy. I was like so happy with the story, and I hadn't felt like that, I feel like, ever. I was maybe once, but like not to that extent. I was like, I swear I was like on adrenaline or something. I was like, I wasn't shaking, but I was like so hyped. Like my face was like getting hot after I like reread the synopsis, because I thought the story was so good. And I couldn't believe that last year I hated this book so much, and I hated the idea of it, because like when I was looking through the synopsis, also this is on top of me, like I wrote the synopsis without reading the book from beginning to end. I haven't read the last act of this book in over a year, so I was just operating on like what I know from writing the book. And I really forgot like how amazing this book, like I feel like I'm being like very confident right now, like very, I don't know, narcissistic, but I really feel like this is a really good story idea. It tackles like the current book I'm writing, like the one I found the plot hole, like the one, the secret project that I want to self-publish. Like I wouldn't say that's like not a good book, but it's not the same. I feel like this young adult fantasy is a little bit more nuanced. It's a little bit more like, I don't know, like original, I think. Not that this book I'm writing is like not original either, because I don't think that's the case, but if you pick up the book I want to self-publish like on Kindle Unlimited, I feel like you kind of expect, like you know what you're gonna get. It follows the same beats, like this is this kind of book. But with the young adult fantasy, I feel like it's a bit just a bit more nuanced. I think it's a lot more original, and I love it. Like I'm like so that whole night after I wrote the synopsis, I was really like evaluating, like, is this self-published book something I want to pursue right now? Should I go back to work on this young adult fantasy? And then like I grounded myself a little bit. I was like, I have to finish the book I'm currently working on, just because I want to finish it. I have so many like I don't want to leave something out like unfinished again. I just want to finish it. So I'm going to finish the current book I'm working on. Plus my critique partner still has the first act of the book. What she says can affect, you know, the rest of the book, right? Like I don't want to revise book like act 2 without reading the feedback she gave me for act 1. I'm just gonna finish this self-published book ASAP, like as fast as I can, also not rushing at the same time, and then work on the young adult fantasy, which I'm thinking will be a new year thing. I do think that editing this self-published book, editing this book that I'm hopefully gonna self-publish one day, has actually helped me a lot with my skills as a writer. I've been improving, and when I was going back into the young adult fantasy, I found myself like feeling like I'm better equipped, like I have better tools to equip me with the self-editing process. Thursday, I didn't do anything, I think. I didn't do any writing. I was rotting. Yesterday, I picked up chapter 14. That's the clip you saw, I think. And that one has a lot of work to do. That's gonna be like the first like semi-spicy scene. That chapter 14 is just really long, and that's what I'm gonna be focusing on today. I kind of want to finish it today because, as I said in some other video, I don't want to take more than like 2.5 days to revise a chapter. But because I found plot holes on Monday and I only wrote for like a tiny bit Friday, like yesterday, for chapter 14, I don't think I'm gonna really count those as like 2 days. I might just count that as like 1 day because I didn't really spend a lot of time on that chapter. But yeah, I'm gonna finish chapter 14 today for sure and move on to chapter 15, hopefully get some momentum going. And I have my editing client, as I said, on November 1st, so I want to get like a chunk done before like I kind of lose momentum again. And also I think I'm gonna skip the Anna Huang release party for the striker. Actually, I know I talked about her like in every single vlog, I think the past 3 vlogs, but they just released the itinerary for the event and it was absolutely like, it was too much. I felt like it's too much for 2 reasons. The first is that it's a work night, so I have work next morning and I don't want to take a day off for this just because I only have like 2 sick days left and I don't want to take a sick day for this. And like, for some reason I thought I could pick up the book before 12 a.m. but because it's a midnight release party, I wouldn't get the book until 12 a.m. because I was thinking I'll just go check it out, leave early, because I do have work next day, and also I don't want to be like out so late in Manhattan by myself. But now I'm supposed to be prepared to wait in line outside. The line will be outside of the store, rain or shine, so please make sure you are prepared for outside queuing. You will not be permitted to line up for this event until 5 p.m. although the event doesn't start until 9. So at what point am I supposed to wait in line? How long am I supposed to wait in line for? I just feel like this is too much of a commitment, especially because I cannot meet the author. Like, I feel like this would be different if it was like a meet or greet or this is a signing, but it's not. She's just gonna be like on stage doing a Q&A. And also I thought I could just like, if I didn't want to play games, I thought I could just like hang out at the Q&A. So Anna Huang's gonna be doing 3 Q&As and I can only go to 1. I can't attend all 3. It would be fun to listen to her talk for like 3 hours. Like, I would totally do that. I can't. So I'm gonna refund these tickets. So I guess I'm not going because that would have been this upcoming Monday. So I'm kind of, it would be different if I didn't have work, and it would also be different if I like went with someone. I think that would make it like more fun. I'm not going with anyone. And also it's like on a Monday. It's on a Monday. How are people going to these events? Like, I wish, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think I'm gonna go. I think that's just gonna be better. Maybe I'll just work on this book instead. I will work on this book instead.